Hello everyone, my name is Mary Jane Sharon. I'm second year BS section 3. The topic for today is all about environmental issues. The environmental problems in the Philippines. There are few signs today of the Philippines once sprawling rainforest. With a growing threat in a human population, it is hoped that the country marine environment will not suffer the same fate. A variety of environmental problems now affect our entire world as globalization continues and Earth natural processes transform local problems into international issues. Few societies are being left untouched by major environmental problems. Some of the larger problems now affect the world are acid rain, air pollution, global warming, ozone depletion, smog, water pollution, overpopulation, and rainforest destruction.
Deforestation, causes and solutions. It is widely known that most of us cannot survive for more than 3 minutes without oxygen. We need oxygen. Oxygen is a necessity. Knowing this, it may come as a surprise to you to find out that as a species, we are destroying one of the biggest producers of oxygen in the world. The world's forests are often named the lungs of the earth, and 20% of the world's oxygen is produced by the Amazon rainforest alone. We are destroying our forests, woodlands and jungles, and this process is called deforestation. The biggest driver of deforestation is agriculture, the process of breeding and rearing animals such as cattle, pigs and poultry for the consumption of mankind. Vast areas of natural, diverse and biodiversity-rich lands are knocked down and mown clean and replaced with grazing animals. In tropical and subtropical countries, agriculture has accounted for 73% of deforestation. Almost half of global deforestation is caused by the expansion of crops including soy. But before we condemn soy-eating people such as vegetarians and vegans, let's look at who soy is actually grown for. In fact, over 80% of soy is used to feed animals, particularly poultry and pigs. We would likely solve world hunger if we drastically reduce animal agriculture and feed all that soy to hungry humans. More than 20% of the Amazon rainforest has already been lost, and it is estimated that the Amazon is vanishing at a rate of 20,000 square miles a year. Not only does the Amazon rainforest provide refuge for countless exotic and fascinating species, but it is also home to more than 80,000 plant species, and 25% of all drugs used today are derived from rainforest plants. In addition to animal agriculture, deforestation is often used to make way for monocrops, such as oil palm. You will find palm oil in 50% of all the packaged products in your local supermarket, and palm oil is to blame for 39% of forests lost in Borneo since the year 2000. 80% of Earth's land animals live in forests. Some of the more well-known species include orangutans, tigers, and a variety of primates, birds, reptiles, and invertebrates. We are seeing countless species threatened and pushed to the edge and beyond of extinction because of deforestation. 2,000 to 3,000 orangutans are killed every year. These facts about foreign parts of the world may be shocking and may make you angry. But did you know that only 13% of the UK's total land area is covered in trees? That's 10% in England, 15% in Wales, 19% in Scotland, and 9% in Northern Ireland. This is a very small percentage when we consider that the EU has about 35% tree cover. Deforestation has been systematically plucking away at our forests for generations. Some of the most beautiful and diverse parts of the world are no longer in existence. Almost 600 plant species have been lost from the wild in the last 250 years, but not all is lost. There are things we can do to prevent further destruction to our forests. Vote for a green government and support local MPs who have demonstrated a keen passion for protecting the planet we all live on. Install Ecosia as your primary search engine. Ecosia is a search engine based in Germany that donates 80% or more of its profits to non-profit organisations that focus on reforestation. To this day, Ecosia has planted more than 100 million trees since its launch in the year 2009. By eating less meat, poultry and dairy, and by opting for locally grown produce, we reduce our impact on the world's forests. In addition, consider reducing your consumption of products that contain unsustainable palm oil. If we work together and take these simple steps, we can start to rebuild our once green earth and help Mother Nature recover to her former glory.
Pollution. The presence or introduction into the environment of a substance that has harmful or poisonous effects on the environment, and even us. Pollution comes in a variety of different ways. It may come in the water, in the land, or even in the air. There are also two others, much less well known: light pollution and noise pollution. However, those are not the worst of our problems. Pollution can ruin our ozone layer, it can prevent plants from growing, and even kill our animals.
Let us start with a very dangerous, but little known form of pollution now, the dangers of land pollution. Land pollution can be formed through many ways, including industrial activities, domestic waste, and agricultural activities. Land pollution is caused not just by landfills and domestic waste, but also by many other things, including deforestation, which is the cutting down of trees, industrial wastes, such as nuclear substances, mining, and even some forms of mechanization.
Domestic wastes, including landfills, can be a huge problem. Domestic waste is the buildup of home garbage in a certain place. They are of a huge threat to the public. Landfills will attract detrivores and decomposers, which are in some cases not good for the environment. These detrivores can include mice, voles, seagulls, and other nasty beings. Despite all the problems posed by land pollution, that is not the least of our problems. One serious problem posed by us would be the introduction of water pollution.
Water pollution is not something that only comes from one source. It comes from many, and those include wastewaters, sewage, marine dumping, and industrial pollution, which includes oil pollution. Wastewaters are very dangerous, both for your health and the health of your ecosystems.
Sewage would include all feces, urine, and other toxic wastes. If this waste is not treated, though, the bacteria will escape, causing the spread of diseases and impurification of water, leading animals to die. When chemicals are in the water, they will cause immense damage to other nearby ecosystems.
This type of water is referred to as brown sludge. On the other hand, there is also a huge issue called coastal or marine dumping.
When substances are dumped into our water bodies, it will be known as marine dumping. No information about this was kept before the 1990s. Any object could potentially be dumped into water. These may include oil, plastics, and other objects. Oil, however, is one that is very dangerous for the health of our ecosystems. Oil takes a long time to be broken down naturally, and moves quickly throughout the seas. One prime example of this in action would be the famous BP oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, as shown here.
In case, British Petroleum has sent 7 oil spillage cleanup vessels in order to deal with any potential pollution. Katie?
Under the Bay St. Louis Bridge. So, you see it. I mean, it's raining oil.
Another type of dumping is the dumping of chemicals. If there is too much alkaline in the water, then animals can't survive at that pH level. Indeed, they will die. One other huge method of water pollution would be the dumping of plastics and other objects. These objects choke and will kill over 100,000 marine animals each year. Some beaches may even contain so many pollutants that it can become an animal graveyard.
However, aside from the beaches, there is one place where this is definitely present, in the Pacific trash vortexes. Each one of the two is almost twice as big as Texas, and is only growing larger. These two garbage patches are connected by a string of trash, called a 6,000-mile-long convergence zone. There are vortexes in every major sea or ocean.
But did you also know that there is air pollution? Air becomes polluted when noxious gases or black carbon particulates are released into the air. There are three main gases that cause air pollution. These are sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, and nitrogen oxides. Sulfur dioxide occurs mainly when coal or oil are burned in power plants. This gas is also commonly found in smokestacks, as shown here.
Carbon monoxide is caused mainly by gasoline equipment. Others are aircraft, diesel and railroads. Carbon monoxide is much like carbon dioxide, meaning that it is a harmful greenhouse gas. Nitrogen oxides only occur at higher temperatures. It facilitates and causes acid rain. It is known to cause eutrophication. It is caused, again, by transportation vehicles and power plants.
Now to move on, a brief overview of black carbon pollution.
This phenomenon may account for 18% of the world's global warming. It causes soupy brown air.
This is only used to describe industrial particulate pollution.
Did you know that nature creates its own pollution too? Volcanoes spew ash into the atmosphere, providing a stream of sulfur dioxide.
The acid reacts with sunlight and blocks it, sort of like what happened on Mount Pinatubo.
Over towns and farmlands, killing more than 300 people.
Windstorms can also kick up dirt and place it in the atmosphere. Forest fires can create industrial-sized smog and can release carbon from the trees into the atmosphere. Organic matter dies, and when they do, they will release their carbon into the atmosphere. Also, when warmed, our oceans will release some of the carbon they have stored, causing natural pollution. Please note that this was all under regulation before the arrival of humans. If not for us, pollution would not be a problem.
Pollution also has negative effects on our ecosystems. Amphibians are hit hardest by water pollution. They absorb water through their skin, so any toxins present get directly inside their bodies. Insects will no longer be able to glide on water, due to the amount of pollution in the form of debris, or oils, in a land ecosystem. When chemicals seep into the ground, plants may be tainted, and will not be able to perform core functions.
It's about time that you face the facts. We must do something about pollution. Pollution is bad for our health. It kills millions of people each year who get heart disease,
Lead poisoning,
and even some lung problems.
and furthermore, 40% of America's rivers are too polluted from fishing, swimming, or aquatic life. What can we do to help this growing problem? We can recycle, plant a tree, get better fuel-efficient cars, or even contact our local authorities and governments to raise awareness and put in place plans to make our community a cleaner, ecological place.
We just passed over the development in northern Alberta of the tar sands.
Pollution affects us through the air,
the land,
and the waters. This is something we must be aware of as we proceed into a hopefully greener future.
So this is a good day. It's a good day in the fight for cleaner air.